Folks, welcome back into the 7 financial blind spots. Kelley, this is a big one. This is one of the silent killers of portfolios, we call it, inflation. How important is it for everyone watching this to not only understand what inflation is, but have a plan to combat inflation?
Yeah, that's so important. You've got to have inflation hedges built into your portfolio. And usually inflation, we look at about 2 to 3% historically. So you've got to have investments that take care of that for you. And when I do portfolio reviews and recommendations for folks, I always have inflation hedges built in there. So inflation is important to cover for folks in the future. You've got to make sure your dollar today equals a dollar tomorrow,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Because, my daughter is going to college right now in London, so she's expensive.
Wow.
But guess what a college tuition private school in the 60s was? What do you think per year it was?
In America in the
Yeah,
60s?
right.
Private school tuition? Probably $1,000. I don't know.
$475.
Okay.
So my daughter is, like I say, going to London right now. It's $50,000 plus per year to do that. So the inflation is huge, right? You've got to have inflation hedges built into your portfolio because a dollar today is just not a dollar tomorrow.
Well, think about what you paid for your first house.
Right.
And now think about what you paid for your last car. It's about the same or more,
Yeah.
right? It's
Well,
kind of crazy.
okay. So Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
In the 70s, I believe, was about $3,000,
Great
somewhere
deal.
right there.
You get a
So
time machine
today,
to go
what
back
are
and get
they?
one.
$50,000
Oh, they're
today?
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a lot.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get the one from the 70s in good condition, it's worth even more.
Actually, you're probably right. I didn't think of that. Yeah, very good.
So, yeah, inflation's going to be here. So, one of the things that people need to realize is there are ways to build plans that can combat the inflation costs. I mean, because you have to, like you said, your dollar today needs to be worth $1 20 years from now, where you need to have a plan that has that kind of buying power like that. People that put money in a bank right now, and it's like they want safety, so they run to the bank. I call it losing money safely because they're getting maybe 1% if they're lucky.
Exactly what
Inflation is 2 or 3, so they have a negative interest rate every year, so they're losing buying power by leaving money in the bank. Now, we have to have some money in the bank for emergencies,
right,
but you shouldn't have a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah, I usually tell folks, have about 6 months of your budget. Again, you've got to know your budget. Know what your budget is. Have 6 months of that in cash in the bank. Yes, you're not making a lot of money on it, but you know that you can go write a check if you have an emergency. Yeah, it's very important.
So let's get an inflation protected plan put together today, folks, and you can do it if you call Kelley's team right now, 805-941-0444.